When we have x squared minus 6x minus 5 equals 0, we've got it in our formula. It's all lined up. What we're going to do is complete the square. First of all, we have to remove the c portion to the other side of the equation. So that's our first step. Then we're going to have x squared minus 6x with a space here equals 5. That space is filled by doing a side calculation. We're going to take our b term, this b term, and take 1/2 of this b term. In our case, it's -6. So our -6 is going to be cut in half. And that would be a -3. -3 is going to be held because we're going to be using this later. Then we go to this step where we take half of the b. So we are going to square this -6 over 2. This gets squared. So basically what you're saying here is 6 times 6 is 36, and 2 times 2 is 4. Now we can reduce that fraction and get 9. And 9 fits here into this spot. Now you may have been able to shortcut this by going -6 divided by 2 is equal to 3, as we found out here, -3, as we found out here, and then square that to get -3 times a -3 is equal to 9. Either way, to do it is fine. But the 9 now completes the square here, and if you do something to this side of the equation, you must also add to that side of the equation. So now we have x squared minus 6x plus 9 is equal to 14. Now we can actually solve this part by the factoring that we've done before. So this part of it could factor to this. X and x, 3, 3. This would have to be 2 negatives in order to get a -6 in the middle, and a positive 9 when it's multiplied. If you're not sure, you can go to your work side and just do a check. We'll FOIL it back to see. Here's our x squared minus 3x minus 3x plus 9. So that perfectly foils back to what we were factoring. So we know that that is the square, that we've done our foiling perfectly. And this equals 14. This part can be looked upon as x minus 3 squared, since it's the same thing, is equal to 14. We can remove the square of this by doing the square root of x minus 3, and then we would have to square the other side. When we do that, it becomes a positive or negative, because there are two values most of the time. Remember, we're finding the points of intersection on the x-axis, and usually parabolas hit twice. So usually we're going to have a positive and negative value. All right, so then the square root eliminates this exponent, so now we have x minus 3 is equal to plus or minus the square root of 14. And we're going to remove the 3, so our x is alone, by adding 3 to both sides. And then we're going to get our x is equal to 3 plus or minus the square root of 14. And we have solved by completing the square.